Hey, man. I think you're muted.
Yeah, perfect. How are you, man?
Good, man. How you doing? Good to finally meet you, I suppose.
Yeah,
weird way to meet for the first time, but
I appreciate you putting this together, man. I'm looking forward to it.
yeah, me too, man. It's been pretty good. We've had a lot of signups, like more than we've ever had. So this will be fun.
That's awesome. Awesome. Well, you sent over the agenda. Seems pretty straightforward. Yeah, no issue.
Awesome. Whereabouts are you now? Are you in Bardstown?
I was in Bardstown for the day, and then I'm at our Louisville office. I don't know if you've seen our Louisville tasting room yet. It's right on Main Street.
I don't think I've been yet. No, that opened like semi recently, no?
Yeah, exactly. With a year ago, basically. And so there's offices, marketing teams on the 5th floor. So I live in Louisville, so I just popped back here. I had to check in on some things, and yeah, it's good. What about you? Where are you calling from?
Mexico City.
Really?
Yeah. So, but
amazing.
Yeah, it's good. I've been here for about 2 years now. I mean, I go back and forth. I go to the US a lot, but we've started doing some tequila stuff and trying to get my Spanish up. Have you ever been?
Yeah, no, it's on the list though. Would love to. We've put some tequila things, a little bit of mezcal, but I've never done Mexico City, man.
Yeah, honestly, like one of the most like badass like peated Scotch whiskeys I've tried was like finished in a mezcal cask. That was like interesting. I don't know if I've seen any. I don't know. I've not seen any bourbons like.
Yeah, it doesn't really play naturally. Maybe like a rye or something might do better, but we're just early stages looking at options.
Yeah,
but it'd be exciting.
Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, you guys are doing some fun stuff. Don't want to wait till we get into it for everybody.
Oh, sure, man, sure.
It'd be pretty exciting to get into it.
Cool.
Yeah, looking like people are joining. I think we can give them a few more minutes. You not went on any holidays?
You what? Waiting on anybody?
No, you were just on holiday, right?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I didn't understand. Yeah, I went over. I did with the family to Italy, northern Italy, the coast. It was gorgeous, man. Turin down to Florence and just everywhere in between. And then we have this champagne project we're kicking off. So was able to hop up there to take the boys up there, and we'll see what happens. But it was a fun way to end the trip.
Oh yeah, awesome. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm half Greek, half Scottish. I'm thinking of heading back to Europe soon to like live. Maybe Madrid. I'm thinking. I don't know. Trying to expand the businesses more in Europe.
Yeah. I love Madrid, man. There's opportunity for whiskey in Madrid. There's a few. I love this cocktail 1862 dry bar that's there. It's amazing, but there's still space for whiskey there.
Yeah. You guys are like slowly but surely hitting up like some good export markets and growing.
Yeah, we're such early stages, It's a cool piece of the collaboration to really set those up and see where we can grow.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Cool.
And I don't know. I think we could slowly get going.
Awesome.
Right. I'm gonna see here to share my screen.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Beautiful.
Let me just. I've got like people from my team that I message.
Do you think you're good? I'm glad it's all working. It's great.
See, because last time we had a webinar, it was like the signups were weird, whereas everybody was coming on as a contributor. So there was like 30 people where we are, and it was just people just lying on their couch, ready to. And it was all these, and that was like the last one. So, and I didn't really know how to deal with it last time, so that stressed me right out. And so I'm really happy this is all. Let me just ask if they can see the
do your thing. It looks great up from my end.
Okay. Presentation. Okay. Oh, good. Yeah, I can't talk much about it here, but I'm really excited about the new project we've got going.
Yeah, I want to. I haven't heard it from your side. I'm excited. There's so much we can do together.
Yeah, man, I'm really, the labels are coming out fantastic. It's looking like super, and I'm sure the liquid's would be amazing from you guys. So I'm really,
That's
that's
awesome.
me. Last month, it's just been that, like contracts, designs, importers, just the whole setting up a brand, like a full brand in like a month, pretty much, which is always fun. But yeah, I think it's going to be super exciting. I'm really excited to taste the liquid.
That's awesome.
Let's see if I get the go ahead to start. Oh, shit. Yeah. Awesome. Well, I think more people are going to join. We're only a few minutes in, but
perfect.
Usually we start off with me talking about myself, so I think everybody's seen that already. Right. Rocking into this, I guess. Welcome everybody who's came on so far. I'm sure people keep joining, but welcome. If this is your first webinar, we really hope you enjoy it, and we hope you learn some cool things through it. If you're returning, thanks for sticking with us in our journey. I usually hate this slide talking about myself, but I'm the founder of Barrel Global. We founded Barrel Global, I think it's 2.5, 3 years ago now, basically to bring barrel ownership to everybody and anybody, as little as one barrel to like as many barrels as you want. We operate around the world. We work with some amazing distilleries, one of which I'm probably our most popular that we work with is Bardstown. And yeah, it's just all about the experience, making barrel ownership fun. People can visit their barrels, taste their barrels, touch them, see them, bottle them, start your own brand, resell them if you want down the line. But it's just all about making the experience great. We've got a nice setup in Kentucky, different states that we buy from, but usually Kentucky's the big one. We've worked extensively with Bardstown and also their other distillery, Green River. And yeah, it's been an awesome journey so far. Met some awesome people. Been wanting to meet Dan for a while. He's a bit of a celebrity in the industry, so I'm quite excited about this. Besides that, I own a few other brands. Coach Built Whiskey with Jensen Button is like a Formula One blended Scotch whiskey thing we do. We have In Barrel, which is our tequila arm, marketing business, and then Multiverse is a little, I guess, pet project where I kind of write comic books and we bottle single casks with comic books. Now moving down to the more interesting person. So, I know Dan's got and I think we'll let you talk about it, quite a colorful background in the industry. I know you started in hospitality, mostly in Bardstown. Before that, I think you were a sommelier, but you can talk more on that. And you've went out into being vice president of product development for Bardstown, which is fantastic because I would say it's Bardstown is one of the, especially probably the most exciting one in bourbon in terms of what you guys do and the kind of the brand collaborations. You work with, like a lot of beer companies. You do collaborations. You did, which Indian distillery was it? Amrut?
Yep, correct.
I love Amrut. Like you're doing a lot of collaborations with like super popular brands in different categories, which I love. You're doing a lot of cool finishes. You're doing a lot of cool blends. It's just, really exciting to see what you guys are up to. And that's the kind of brands, as everybody knows, we love to work with. We love to work with not contract distillers that just make liquid for other people, but people that are actually building their own brand and heavily focusing on that, which is really great for us to see. A few people here will know Bardstown is definitely one of the most popular offerings that we have. I think last year we started with the white label origin bottle. It's 36 rye. We bought a big batch of those barrels. Those sold really fast, surprisingly fast, and to the point where some people didn't have time to get some, which is always what you want in this situation. And this year we're delving into more of the wheat side of things, and we've went for the high wheat, which is I think that's the mash bill in the Black Origin series bottle. But anyway, Dan, basically all the products you love from Bardstown, he makes most of them, all of them, blends them, finishes them, and yeah, all around very popular dude, innovator here, lots of awards, and yeah, as I said, one of our most popular brands, and I'm excited to delve into this and hear all about it. like what you guys are doing. So to start off, I guess I'd love to hear, man, a bit about your history, just how you went along and industry, got into Bardstown, and then beyond that, just what's how the brand is going.
Awesome. Thank you, George. I'm excited to be here, and thank you everyone for tuning in. So to your question, I took a winding path into bourbon. All of my 20s, I was a musician. My whole life, I thought I would stay a classical orchestra musician. I studied the French horn. My family is musicians, and ended up playing in the orchestra in New Orleans. And from there I was doing tours overseas, music, random concerts, and I do this reoccurring one that was in China. And I met my wife there. She was from Kentucky, which prompted the move up to Kentucky. And then I wasn't sure what I was going to do. So I was really passionate.
So you met your wife who's from Kentucky and China.
She was on the same traveling orchestra, right? So it's going around China, goes back. I start driving to Kentucky and eventually moved up there. And then I was trying to figure out what to do as everyone does. And I had this passion for cocktails, which I still do. At the time, it was very strong. And wine, I got my SOM certifications and was really focused there. And from there, I met a lot of people in the industry, right? In Louisville, Kentucky, it's a lot of bourbon activity. Was introduced to the people that were starting Bardstown Bourbon Company, came down initially on the beverage program, right? The food and beverage. And I'll tell you all about Bardstown Bourbon Company, but that was my entry in. And I just started pushing. I wanted so much to be a part of the product development and the blending. And just every month that went by, took more steps to get there. And now full-time Bardstown Bourbon Company in Green River, product development and blending. Bardstown Bourbon Company is just such an amazing story, and it's one I love to tell. It goes back to September of 2016 is when the first liquid came off the still, and Pete Lofton, our founder, had this vision for what it could be. So you're looking at September 2016 at the time, breaking ground back to 2014, deciding to come to Bardstown, Kentucky. That is reason number one. Bardstown, Kentucky is the bourbon capital of the world. There are 10 distilleries within 16 miles of Bardstown. And so the idea is to build a distillery surrounded by all the history and tradition, but be a modern take. So Bardstown is a modern take on tradition. And we define being modern by 3 core tenets. And you'll see it in everything we do: innovation, collaboration, and transparency, right? Innovation, you're looking right here. I love this picture. It's the most technically advanced distillery in the country, right? Targeting 500 points of production for everything from the temperature off the still, the grains used, making bourbon out of popcorn, to the barreling. Every part of the process is flexible. Collaboration, what you're looking at right there is a view of the distillery and the restaurant, which are right next to each other. So that was a recent law in 2017 where you could build a full service restaurant and bar and attach it to a distillery. So we set out to build this world-class hospitality program. What came with it, though, is an executive chef, a beverage director. If traditional is one person in a room or on a rocking chair doing bourbon, this is a myriad of viewpoints and unique people coming together to create. But above all else, most important thing, and I think with Barrel Global, it's really exciting, is transparency. It's why it's all glass looking into the still. When you take a tour, and anyone on this call, please come see us. You can dip your finger in the fermenter. You can take pictures. You can ask questions. In an industry built on a lot of myths, legends, made up kernels, right? This is a way that we can show you, how we create it, and it extends to the packaging. All our bottles have the recipe, the age, the source of distillation. So innovation, collaboration, transparency. That's how we got off the ground in 2016. It's amazing to think next year we'll hit 10 years. It's incredible. And
how can you guys only be 10 years old? That's nuts. It's like looking at what you've built and everything. It just doesn't, you'd imagine you guys are like 20, 30 years in. I mean,
it's great. It's still a small team and we're growing. I know we'll talk about it today, but it's just, to me, the most exciting spirits company right now, because of those core tenets and because of what we're creating.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love it. And the transparency. I mean, I like that a lot. But I was actually speaking to who was the vice president of contract sales before? Lucy? No.
Susie Garvin.
So, yeah, I was speaking to Susie for years before. Like, I was like, I always wanted to work with you guys because I loved what you were doing. And I think back then it was a bit, you didn't have the production as high, and it took time to kind of, but we got it and it was good. And yeah, I like that. With Barrel Global, same with transparency, as you say. There's a lot of Scotch cask companies and other companies that want to hide who they work with, so other people won't buy from them and stuff. We're we want to just like shout about it, post about it, social media. Because I mean, if you do what you do and you do it right, no one can copy what you do or do it as well as you. So I think that's yeah, no, fantastic to see, man, fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I came there the first time. I mean, I knew it was big, but I didn't know it was that big.
It's massive. And you made such a good point, right? Early days when you were talking to Susie, we didn't have the capacity to sell that much, right? Sure. And it was tough. It was a long waiting list. We just added a third still because of the demand from our partners, right? So that we, as our partners grow, we can support them and they stay with us.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. And as I said, I mean, we can't say anything yet to everybody on the call, but we've got an exciting project coming with Dan and the team as well. So we're working on that, and that will come to fruition soon for everybody. So it's something to look forward to. And right now, to jump into this, obviously, I think this is the most exciting part of Bardstown. First of all, you just came out with the Mizunara. You've done which. I mean, I didn't get to try, sadly, because I'm in Mexico and stuff just can't get through here. But when I'm in next, I've told my friend to send me to one of my buddies to send me a little sample. You guys have done some awesome collaborations. So I think breaking it down, let's kind of look at, first of all, just how this idea started, because it's obviously something very unusual that not oftentimes, that what I love about this is oftentimes people are weird about distilleries collaborating with distilleries, or a bit, they're a bit, it's competition and I don't want to do that, which I love about you guys because you work with so many different really popular partners around the world, which I love. So I guess I would love to talk about, I mean, I know you guys have your Origin series, which are fantastic, and we can delve into that after, but I'd love to talk about just how the rise came of the blends, the cask finishes, and the collaborations, and how you guys kind of came up with this idea to start doing these experiments.
Yeah, it's a great question. I do think we have made a tremendous mark in this category and continue to do so. What we say in the office is there's nowhere we won't go. So if it hasn't been done, then we get really excited about it. So you take, for example, the Amrut collaboration, taking used Indian whiskey barrels, bringing them to Bardstown, right? The barrels went from Bangalore to Bardstown. That has never been done. And if it's a first, I get excited about that, right? Yeah. Four Square Rum's another example where we were the first out of the gate to have that co-branded collaboration. I love what we were able to do and continue to do with Ferrand and Plantaray. And I see on your slide the Armagnac, Chateau de la Baude, right? When we were setting that up, the casks, these massive 400-liter casks, had never left their aging facility. They literally cut a hole in the roof to then get them out because everything had grown around their aging process. So I think what we do is we explore and we push flavor. And if you're going to be willing to innovate, you have to be willing for some things to not work out and try and take risks. And I think we've been really fortunate with the success of this collaborative series. And if anyone on the call, if you see the bottles, they're co-branded, right? So you've got the name of our distillery, the name of the partner. We put the logo of the partner right on the glass. So we're now setting these up, continuing these projects, everywhere from Korea, Japan, through Europe, through India. It's really pushing what bourbon can be. And it's something you'll continue to see from us. Yeah.
And that's a fantastic way. I mean, we'll get to this later, but I think with bourbon being like it's growing abroad, but with it being a very US focused and US consumed product, that's a really great way to get eyes on bourbon in export markets, right? Like that's a fantastic way to do that.
That is kind of a hidden, unexpected gift that now strategically is really interesting, right? Is if there's a market that you're trying to get your brand in a sea of bourbon labels and you want to distinguish yourself, is there a way you could partner with someone from that region, connect your flavor profiles and use that for an awareness there? That's an exciting piece, and I think the collaborative is a way to join up flavor profiles that you wouldn't normally expect. The Amrut is rye, Indian malt, bourbon, all kind of coming together. I see so much success with a traditional Scotch drinker with that product, and it's been a way to bridge them.
Is that something you see growing in general in the industry, the kind of world of cask finishes?
Yeah, I think if it's done well, they'll continue. Like any balanced flavor is going to grow and succeed, as long as it's intentional and works. I think the willingness from the consumer is there to experiment. I think what's gone is the days of my dad only drank Jack Daniels and it was always, or he was a Jim Beam guy and that's all he had. I think the modern consumer is experimental and willing to have 30 different pours, and they dance around them throughout the year.
No, definitely. And then looking at kind of, I suppose the base, do you use like your Origin series mash bills for the base of a lot of these, or is it, because I'm assuming it's because that's what you guys are most used to working with, it's a bit easier, or how do you do it?
Yes, great question. So we started in 2016. A lot of these collaborations need an older profile. So if you think about flavor on the seesaw, right, and you need to swing more barrel than grain. If we go out, if I want a 12-year profile, we haven't distilled it yet. One day it'll all be our liquid in our Origin. But we'll go out and source 12 to 15 year, somewhere in that range, just because that's what really works for the target. But one day, it will be our profile. We produce, we'll do 60 plus recipes this year off our stills, where traditionally in bourbon, it's maybe 1 up to 4 or 5, 60 unique recipes. So we have a whole, Rolodex of different flavors that are aging to pull from.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
how expensive was that Mizunara cask?
Oh my God.
They're insane. Japanese old casks are just
it's crazy. We were so fortunate there because, with Mizunara having lower tannins, right? Slower extraction, you could really age a long time. The problem is it's more porous and it leaks. We were so fortunate checking in that these barrels held so well. So we were able to go almost 3 years. And I think what's not talked about in whiskey is the floor you're aging on, right? You can draw something out. You can start low, get time, slow extraction. If you need it to pop, you need more presence or even more proof, you can go up to the top floor. With these small collaborations, we can lean into where they're aging to get the right flavor profile. And that's something I've learned since I've started, is that ability to put things on the right floor. And I'm still learning.
Yeah. No, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I guess a little bit on the blends. How do you have what's your kind of process for that?
Yeah. So that's something I'm continuing to learn. I have the title master blender, but like everything we do at Bardstown, there's so many people that contribute. Some of the biggest whiskey fans are on our distillery sales team, and they'll come in and have a viewpoint. And we have a great tasting panel where we can bounce off ideas. The thought there with blends, the first thing I did for Bardstown was Discovery 1, and if I think back to what I knew back then versus now, it's just always a learning process. What I'm excited about now is blending and then cask finishing older bourbon. I think there's a path there that, like the Cathedral we did, like Discovery 13 that's coming out, a way to find a balanced profile, rebarrel and age on the right location and get the flavor right. So I'm always thinking about blends is short answer.
I love blends. I think I'm I own like a blended Scotch whiskey brand, like a premium, and I love blends. I think they're, great. It's a really great way to bring together liquids that no one would really bring together, and find balance that, not that you couldn't find in like more straight Kentucky bourbon or single malt Scotch, but it brings a whole different, it brings in a whole new playground of flavor and things you can do.
You're so right. And the coolest kind of practice for anyone listening is if you have 2 bourbons, you can do it tonight. Put a little bit of each together and then sip that. Take 3 Glencairns, one's the blend, and then the individual components, and see if you can make something that's better. That's the litmus test, right? Is your blend better than the piece by itself? And if you get it right, you really can make something new and exciting that's better than any of the individual components.
Yeah, no, definitely. So before we move to the next slide, can you give us a little teaser of anything exciting coming up, or you're not allowed to do that?
No, we can see. That's the cool thing about transparency. We can talk about, our newest release that's coming out. It's going to announce a week from now is Discovery number 13, which we're talking about. It's a double-barreled aged product. It's a split of American oak, so made a blend, put it all together in a tank, and then split the aging, the double barreling between American oak and Hungarian oak.
Ooh.
And this stuff, Hungarian, I think is on the rise a bit. It's really unique flavor. Then put it together, aged in different floors of the warehouse, and it's just for someone that loves barrel characteristic and richness and depth at your bourbon. The other one is with Maison Ferrand Cognac House. This is our second finishing project we've done with them. And it's a bourbon and a rye put together and blended in their used cognac casks. To me, it's one of the most elegant things we've done. Just beautiful finish. Also, they had the great idea, their team, could we make something that would make the best Bouquet cocktail of all time, right?
Yeah.
When you incorporate the rye and the cognac, and it's a special one. So those are both being announced next week. We'll continue this global approach. Everything from Champagne to Korea is in the works and under development.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, not bourbon yet. That's why I'm really excited. But I've tried some tequila aged in Hungarian oak.
Oh, cool!
Fantastic as well. Like it's such a unique, like that spicy character that comes through is so unique. So I'm really excited to try that with bourbon. That's super.
Yeah, it's really fun. It is different to me. It gets often compared to French oak, but it has, to me, at least the barrels I've played around with, more of that kind of spice mocha, darker approach, where certainly the coconut vanilla of American oak is drastically reduced. So back to a blend, right? If you finish some in American and some in Hungarian, and you balance it the right way, you've kind of got the best of both worlds.
Awesome. Well, there you go, guys. Something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Everybody on the call. Right now, so we've talked about cask finishes, all the awesome blends, but I guess it'd be good to look at more, the business side of things. It's not all fun and blends. So, I mean, it'd be good to talk just a little bit about your guys' just expansion. I mean, I know, obviously, we discussed that a lot of these collaborations are probably helping you in a lot of export markets. How's the outlook looking outside of the US, I suppose, in terms of export markets and the appetite?
Yeah, I think it's amazing. I think this slide, just this thought, is the opportunity for bourbon. And I'm not going to say anything you don't already know. I'm just reinforcing the opportunity for bourbon in the barrels right now is just to hop in globally into some of the lanes that Scottish whiskey has already created, right? And there is this excitement. You have the numbers, you have the data, the reports that come out, but along with that is the anecdotal evidence, right? So last year, spending time in Tokyo, if you know Ken's bar in Tokyo, right? He's coming over here for Kentucky Bourbon Festival, and he always brings back some Bardstown, and being over there and sharing it. I did tastings with the British Bourbon Society not too long ago in both London and Manchester, and we had individuals that were driving to both, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hopefully not after.
Not on the same night, no.
Yeah,
but I think the UK is really growing. I mean, it's so fun to see our stuff all around London and talk to these bartenders that use it in cocktails, I really think our Origin series in the UK in cocktail programs is the win, and that's where we're gonna get it, because subjectively and somewhat objectively, bourbon to me just works better in most cocktail bars than malt forward stuff, and that fine to disagree, but I think there's a real win there for bourbon. Exploring Europe, we're a small bit in Australia. Australia is interesting because of the ABV differences. We're looking at all of that. When we launched our core lineup, and this goes back to 2018, we really took a centralized approach because of our hospitality, because of our visitor center. We wanted people to come see us. So our first markets are just Kentucky and around it, very centralized, where traditionally in a US brand, you would hit the coast, New York, San Francisco, right? Hit your big markets. Ours was who can drive and come see us, right? Start there. So that was our core. And then we're just dipping our toes in satellite global markets right now. Remains to see, but I think tremendous opportunity globally for bourbon right now.
Yeah. No, I mean, again, we obviously Barrel Global. I used to live in Asia, and I used to, I'm from Europe, lived in Asia, and obviously with the project we're discussing and just our barrels, it's nice to see people come in and buy some barrels from Hong Kong, from we sell some people in Japan. It's really nice to see the people, and it's not so much like, this is Bardstown. It's more so, Bardstown, we're selling some barrels. So it's good to see that your guys' name is really getting out there. And it's great to hear, the cocktail thing, and then it's growing in the UK as well. I'm always definitely on the lookout for bottles, which is always fun to see. And I guess on that note, you mentioning the Origin series. So, for everybody on the call, just a little bit of, I'm not a salesperson, but I'm going to try. I know my sales director's on the call, probably mouthing words at me. But no, so last year we started our relationship with Bardstown. We bought their, we bought the mash bill that they use for the white label Origin series. So the Origin series are the core products that you guys make. That was a 60 corn, 36 rye, 4% barley. So that was a high rye one. And this year we went the opposite direction, obviously to pop, a lot of people have asked for it, and we've bought 300 barrels of the black label wheated, which is 68 corn, 20 wheat, and 12 barley. So this is super exciting for us. We obviously bought it because a lot of our clients have been asking for it, and Bardstown, as I mentioned at the beginning of the call, is always one of the most popular offerings that we do. So I would love, just to talk a little bit about in general, the Origin series, it's your core products they're often sold out weirdly. They sell out more than, but I think our clients always really love, and the reason I always love to do that is because they really love to go get a bottle. Our clients, when you buy something that's just been distilled, it's always nice to be able to, even though it's not going to be the same and it's a single barrel, but to always go and kind of see what the whiskey might turn into. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about kind of the Origin series and the black label in particular, how you see it, and cocktails, how it works.
Awesome. Yeah, something close to my heart. Okay, so the Origin series at its core, what that means is 100% estate distilled, aged, bottled right on site. It's our core lineup. To me, it's the most important moment in the company, right? I love our blends finishing. The core and what we were waiting to come of age is our own liquid off our stills. So that's the Origin series. The definitive piece to point out with Origin is that it's 6 years old. In bourbon, almost everyone's core is 4 years and a day, whether that's Evan Williams Black, Jim Beam White, 4 years and a day, because anything younger than that, you have to say how old it is on the label. Right? So you have to write 36 months. Once you hit 4 years in bourbon, you don't have to put an age statement. And again, back to that seesaw, right? That balance. As it ages every year, you find the balance between the barrel, caramels, and the grain, right? And we find that at 6 years, you have a better balanced profile. So this is a 6 year, the black label, right? And you get that additional 2 years of aging, which really makes a tremendous difference. This iteration, you're buying the 68 corn 20% wheat, 12 barley. The definitive piece of this is Steve Nally. Steve Nally is our master distiller. He was employee number 1. He's former master distiller at Maker's Mark.
Okay.
Yeah, so he, in the I think early 90s Makers, those beautiful bottles. That was him. He retired, went out, brought out of retirement to start Wyoming whiskey. And then we brought him out of retirement a second time and turned on the stills at Bardstown.
Won't let me rest.
Yeah, no breaks. He's amazing. But if you think about Makers, right, there's one recipe. I love Makers, but it's one recipe. This is the weeded recipe Steve always wanted to make. And this is his sign off on the industry, right? This is his weeded bourbon. So it's always going to be a special one for us. It's a recipe we believe in. As far as flavor profile, easiest way to describe it, wheat is sweet, rye is dry. Just think about the breads, right? If everyone on the call made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you put it on wheat bread, the wheat lets the other flavors through. It's a little more passive, where rye bread has a lot of pop and personality. So wheat is going to have a softer, easier liftoff. It'll skew a little more towards citrus. So for a cocktail, think paper plane, whiskey sour, light fruit notes. That's going to be the palate experience. It'll have all the caramel and wood sugar, but an easier liftoff with a weeded bourbon.
Amazing. What's your favorite cocktail with it?
I would do a paper plane all day with it. Something that leans into citrus, right? It's just beautiful with it. You can make a Manhattan and you can make an old fashioned. Just maybe go easy on the bitters, or if it's ginger, take it easy. This is more the smooth sipper.
What is a paper plane?
Paper plane there's very few modern classic cocktails. This is one of them. It's equal parts bourbon, lemon juice, Aperol, and a Maranino. So it's 4 ingredients. So the good thing about a paper plane is you can't mess it up. You don't even need like a jigger or anything. You just need a vessel that's all the same size. As long as it's equal parts, put it all in there, shake it up, and enjoy it. It has a beautiful kind of pinkish color.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, I'm going to rock on before everybody starts asking you for cocktail recipes. But I'll get to your questions later, guys. Awesome. This is fantastic. And I think that's all from me. We've got a bunch of questions that people have sent in, and then I'm going to, and by the way, everybody on the call, if you want to ask any questions now that you've heard what Dan's taken us through with Bardstown, do send them here in the chat. And I've got some pre-sent questions. Thank you to everybody for sending them through. Dan, if that's cool, I can start going through these. I can take some, you can take some, we can.
Perfect. Let's do it.
If people are asking about Greece or Scotland, I'll answer that. If we're asking about bourbon, you can do it. Right, let's rock into these. Wait, I think I can stop sharing. Yeah, I can stop sharing. People can see our pretty faces up close. I've got such PTSD. Like, I'm so afraid to touch anything in case I break it. Okay, there we are. We're still on. Awesome. Fantastic. So, number 1 from Rick Holy from Lowell, Indiana. Our large distilleries, this is a good one. Like, large distilleries like Bardstown Bourbon Company distilling less as a result of the decline in bourbon sales. So, I mean, I have my opinion on this, but it'd be nice to see what you think.
Yeah, I think we are in a market correction, which is going to be there. I think you'll continue to see it. No one, has the crystal ball of where this thing goes. We are still so bullish on our brand. It's been amazing. While you might see a slight dip in bourbon, our brands are up, I think, 30 to 40%. So we are not slowing down at all. We have so much room to grow, and it's amazing when you go out anecdotally how many people are still learning about Bardstown Bourbon Company in Green River. So I think the Nielsen data came out for the first 26 weeks, and in our category, Bardstown Bourbon is the fastest growing. Right? Oh, wow. So it's pretty cool. So no, we are not slowing down, but we're cognizant and aware of the industry trends.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think like this is the time to just like push ahead, keep doing things in a different way, in a cool way, like you guys are doing. Like we at Battle Global, I'm proud that we are also like not the size that you guys are, but we're still going and we're going strong. And we're just, I just think it's a great time for like a lot of the people that just came in for the wrong reasons to kind of melt away. And the people that are, pushing ahead, innovating, the three important things you said about transparency and collaboration and just, innovation. I think that's what you need to keep going. And if anything, more growth will come from this as more companies that weren't really, and for the right reasons, kind of melt away.
I couldn't have said it better, right? As this is a little bit of a culling or a little bit of just straightening out, and the brands that continue to push and do it the right way will come out stronger.
There you go. Right. Rick, hope that answers your question. Mark Pierce-Simone from Nashville has asked, at what age do you feel whiskey reaches its peak in flavor and complexity? I mean, you did mention that obviously the Origin series are 6 years old. Yeah.
It's very personal, and it's tough, right? Because aging conditions are so different. I put it at a 2-year gap between the first floor and the top floor. Another 2 years between palletized and traditional rick houses. Different grains age different ways. In the right aging conditions, 6 years can be incredible and have all the barrel notes you need. I've also seen 20-year bourbons that still had life in them. So there's not a year. It's more of a profile that I target. To not evade your question, I really love bourbon around 8 years. I like having some grain authentic characteristic in there. The barrel can homogenize in a way. I like tasting the original grain, but I've had beautiful 15-year too that have just blown my mind.
Fantastic. There you go. Right. Terry Elson is saying cost and where will the barrels be kept after a purchase one. So for like just one single barrel, if you want it, I think it's $2,500. And then if you buy more, you get one for free or you get discounts. Now, as to where the barrels will be kept, this is quite a good one. So Bardstown, we do tours there, we go there, but because it's such a big operation and it's huge warehouses, it's quite hard to pull down. You need a lot of kind of notice to pull down individual barrels. It's just like it's a very big distillery and there's a lot going on. So what we tend to do in the way we work with Bardstown is we go on tours. We're always taking our team there. Like Murray goes there with a lot of clients, but then we have the barrels at a slightly smaller warehouse, extended stay, that I think you guys use as well, where it's a bit easier just to pull down the barrel. So there's nothing, it's super close. It's just a bit easier because obviously Bardstown is a running, operating distillery. So it's very hard to bring down like 25 different barrels at any one point, which, makes total sense. So I hope that answers your question, Terry. Right. Paul Amice from Buffalo is saying, forward look on the market, trends and predictions, 2024-25 actual sales versus productions in the market space, true impact of tariffs, U.S. That's a lot of
So we, like I say, we're 30 to 40% up right now as a brand. We expect that to continue. We are reinvesting our revenue from the brand back into the brand. And because of our contract distillation, if you think about that, when we distill for others, it gives us the ability to take our brand revenue and put it right back. We don't need to make a profit on the brand right now, which is very rare and incredible. And that's why we believe that we can continue this crazy growth. The tariffs are minimal for us. We're just, like I say, we're dipping our toes globally. And like I say, we believe in just continuing to do these right things, and there is no reason to think the growth of our brands will slow down.
Awesome. Well said. There you go. Right. Paul Shands is saying, how do I learn more about the barrels we've already purchased from Bardstown? Are there aged bourbon barrels available? So yes, you can get in touch with your account manager. We work very closely with Bardstown and Green River. We buy new fill barrels, but we also buy a lot of aged barrels as well. So we've helped a lot of our clients bottle a lot of casks, that aged Green River casks, aged Bardstown casks. We work really closely with the team. So if you're looking for something ready bottled, get in touch with your account manager. If you're looking to buy something new, get in touch with your account manager. You got Charles, Juan, Murray. They'll, all the lads will take you through the process. So yeah, that's honestly, and to be fair, Bardstown and Green River are some of the only distilleries we have such, nice accessibility to, because you guys have a lot of nice aged casks, and I love how we work together on, like, we'll buy batches of barrels. We don't have that. Again, that's what Dan was saying, just the innovation and the flexibility of the brand just makes them really easy to work with and work together to kind of create these bottlings or brand building for people that want to buy aged stuff. So that is, yeah, definitely something we do with Bardstown and Green River. Jared Connor in Arizona is asking how to get limited bottle drops. So how does that work?
Well, the first step one would be to join the mailing list. That's it, right? Join that, and then you have a heads up of where it's coming. We do have an amazing group, the Reserve Whiskey Club. It's sold out for 2025, but we will launch it, reopen it towards the end of this year. So if you're on the mailing list, you'll see a heads up of when our Reserve Whiskey Club goes live, and this is all those little innovations and experiments and ways to get those bottles.
Hey, I'm gonna be signing up to that.
There you go.
Sadly, probably no delivery to Mexico, but I miss all the good stuff down here. It's loads of tequila and mezcal. Can't complain. Right, JR from Florida. I can take this one as storage conditions and options and status if there is a bankruptcy filing. Damn, JR, come on. We're doing a good job here. Great questions. Storage, as I said, we with the Bardstown barrels that we get, we're going to store at extended stage just because it's more. There's easier accessibility, and it's a as I said, we still do all our tours and everything at Bardstown, but that's where they'll be stored. Bankruptcy, I mean, with all the paperwork and the way it works, again, you can get in touch with your account manager about this, but with the way the paperwork works, if something were to happen to Barrel Global, that barrel will be at the warehouse with your name on it, and you can claim your barrel when we're not there. So, you're pretty safe. But come on, JR, we're gonna rock this. We're not going anywhere. Mike from Edmond, what's okay? Oklahoma. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I messed up sometimes. When will the barrels become available, and what will be the process be? Barrels are available. They're going to be distilled in October, end of October. But you can start. We've started pre-selling them. Again, you'll get your certificates obviously when the barrels have been distilled, but you can pre-purchase and get all the paperwork. Reserve your barrels because they are going quick, from what the team told me. But we do have 300, so you do have time. But they are available, and they'll be distilled in October and ready to go. Right. Next, Harold McCaddery. I hope I pronounced that right. Bet you can't pronounce my last name, so it's fine. What barrels do you use, and do you think the location the trees were grown makes a difference? That's a good one. What barrels do you guys tend to use?
Yeah, it's a great question. So we work with, at one point it was 10 different coopers, right? All over the country. It's another way we can customize, right? And so you're getting wood grown everywhere from West Virginia, Missouri. We just sourced Gariana from the Pacific Northwest.
Ooh,
absolutely, nice. It makes a difference where the tree, most people, you don't realize you only get 2 barrels a tree on average, right? So depending on the conditions, if that tree is in poor soil, it's going to grow slowly. It actually grows kind of better. It has a tighter grain. Everything's closer together, so more wood extraction. You can age a longer time with a tighter grain. Depending on the rain it saw, the sunlight, that's all going to impact the wood sugar. Then you can really divide a tree into 3 parts, low, middle, high. And depending where the wood comes, it's going to taste different. That's what makes a single barrel program so unique.
Yeah. It's always going to be different. And then Jesse from Phoenix, we've got a few to go. What do you do with your spent grain?
Yeah, so it's as you see in Kentucky, it goes back to the local farms. So it is this symbiotic process where after the grain is done, send it right back to the local farms, and it feeds the cattle. Some happy cows in Kentucky.
Yeah, there you go, well fed and happy. Oh, this is a good one. Kyle from North Carolina said, "What is the one new thing you've learned in the business this year that sticks with you?
Well, I learned something every day. What I'm learning this year is how hard our shipping department works. That's been resonating with me today. And bigger picture, the number one thing I've learned in career is how many people it takes to get a bottle of bourbon on the shelf that have incredible contributions. Everyone from your compliance, your finance, your shipping, your marketing, your operations, your filtering, your processing. It's crazy. If I wish someone would do a documentary that is start to finish, how many people touch a bottle of bourbon to get it on the shelf. It's staggering.
Wow, that's fantastic. Yeah, I mean that's a really good one. And I don't know if the person's asking me. What did I learn this year? I'll come back on that one. Damn it, I'm not prepared. What have I learned this year? It's been a busy year. I mean, I would just say, like, when you have a few efficient people, as opposed to like that are really into it and lots of passion for the job, that they count as like 20 people.
100%.
If you have it, you can have a team of like 4 or 5 people that do the work of like 20. If they're into it and you have that team dynamic, it's just so important. And it's awesome. Yeah. Someone asked, who is Charles? I realized that may be my bad. So after this webinar, we've got a few more questions to go, but Charles is going to get in touch with you. He's our director of sales. He's going to send you an email, and he's, keep an eye out for that, and he'll have a chat with you if you guys are looking to buy any of the barrels, any of the wheated barrels, if you like what you saw. So he'll be in touch for whoever just asked who Charles is. Legend, British legend. Right. Where do you procure the finishing barrels, and how many times can they be used? That's the kind of last question sent in.
Yeah, so it depends who we're working with. So Amrut, they came from Amrut Distillery. These Chateau de Bois, they came from Armagnac, and they go on a shipping container, come to us at the distillery. We use them generally once, and then we've done that collaboration. The key piece is how it's transported. If we're doing beer from Chicago, you've got to ship it that day in a refrigerated truck so the beer doesn't spoil. Same thing with wine. You bring it from California. We leave a little residual in there, but the barrels originate at the home of the partner brand.
Yeah. No, amazing. I think that's all the questions that people sent in, and a few people have sent a few more. I learned, so Paper Plane, we went through that. I told you guys who Charles is, so look out for his emails and to come on this journey with us in Bardstown Bourbon Company. Which bottle were you just talking about? So the wheated recipe that we've got is the Black Label Origin Series. So go out and get a bottle. Fantastic stuff. And last year we did the white label. We've also, we've done a bit of the cream label. I think that's also high wheat, but this production, that was a smaller one. This is the bigger one that we've done. Speaking to the current entry-level wheated barrel offering for ownership through Barrel Global, as I mentioned, you can buy anywhere from 1 barrel to as many barrels as you want. Again, you might know Juan, you might know Murray, you might know Charles, but Charles is going to get in touch with you after this to see if you guys have any interest in it. And I think, he'll do a much better job than me at telling you how it all works. What are your thoughts regarding cask strength versus proof? Cask strength seems to be popular. By the way, Paper Planes are awesome. My wife is not a bourbon drinker and loves them.
There you go. Cask strength versus proof. It's personal opinion, right? There's something to be said for having the full mouthfeel and awesome big bourbon. If you're really trying to dive into the notes, I like to bring it down a little bit, just so some more of the fruit characteristics will come in there once you start getting closer to 100. Mid-90s, you'll get more fruit, but I love a good cask strength bourbon, but not for the tasting notes, more just for the experience.
There you go. And what is your opinion of the impact of the cooperage and where the oak is harvested? So, I think Dan went through this. Super important. Obviously Bardstown has a very selective and careful process for choosing their oak because they do some crazy stuff with some crazy types of oak. You need to be careful there. Yeah, I mean, this is off topic. Do you see yourself collaborating with New Riff? We have some New Riff barrels. We did that in the past. They're a bit
awesome.
smaller, great team. And
They're
we'll
friends. Love them. Probably not, but you never know.
Sorry, what? Yeah. I mean, that's a bit. Yeah, I mean, a bourbon distillery next door to that. I don't know how you
never know. Their head of sales, me and him came up together, working, and Molly Lewis is amazing. We've been friends forever. I think the world of New Riff.
Yeah.
And I would never write off a collaboration. It could happen. There's none planned right now.
There we go. Awesome. Well, I think we've rocked through the questions. Yeah, good turnout. This was fantastic. And yeah, Dan, man, thanks so much. Honestly, I've been seeing your stuff for a long time, and it's great to meet you in person and chat to you. Love what you guys are doing at Bardstown. I think it's fantastic. I'm glad everybody got to join and kind of be a part of this and see what you guys and hear it from the source, what you guys are up to. And yeah, at least from Barrel Global, love having you guys as a partner. I'm super excited for what we're going to do together and keep building together. And thank you, man.
Awesome. Cheers. Thanks for all you do. And I hope to see you guys on the call at the distillery sometime. Be fun to show you around.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We're getting there. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.